Welcome everybody to iOS ARCA Pro Series. I'm Joe Wright, and tonight I'm joined by my brother and fellow iRacer, David Wright. We're here at Charlotte Motor Speedway with the final iOS ARCA Pro Series race. 4 drivers, 1 championship. They're going to be putting it all on the line here at Charlotte, and that mile-and-a-half track's really going to get to them. We'll see what they can do tonight, Dave. I've seen a lot of loose cars off the corner. What do you think?
Yeah, Joe, I think it's going to be some really exciting action. We're down to the final 4. Brian Nudi, Kyle Mays, Dylan Dumford, and we have a surprise with Bobby Mays backdooring into the final 4 with Isaiah Gill not being able to make the race tonight. So our final 4 is set, 60 laps, like you said, at Charlotte. 1 set of tires behind the wall. Tire wear will be a big situation that we'll talk about most of the night. We'll see what these 4 drivers are thinking before qualifying as we try to grab one or all of them to have a brief word here to see what's going on and what their mindset is as we head into this championship run.
Yeah, we're going to first pull in, looks like Kyle Mays, your 3rd place seat here. Kyle Mays has been a big part of the series all season long, Dave. Finds himself in that 3rd spot. Here we go. Hey, Kyle, it's Joe and Dave in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, man, you made it into that top 4. You got a real big shot at this thing tonight. 1 race to decide it all. Brian Nudi is probably going to be your biggest competition, but we both know that Dylan Dunford as well as Bobby Mays, no slouches to the front. So what do you got for him tonight?
I don't know. We'll just have to see. Nudi is really good here. I actually run out of gas in the truck race, and I got him on the last lap at Charlotte here. So I don't know. I'll just give it all I can.
Yeah, Kyle, you've been really strong at most of the mile-and-a-half so far this year as well. So definitely a competitor in your own right. As you head into the qualifying here, what do you what's your strategy heading into qualifying? What are you thinking? How important is that in the long run here for the race tonight?
Well, it's pretty important, but I don't think it's everything. I think you got to really save your tires here. So if you just get a decent starting spot and just save tires, hopefully everything will work its way out.
I completely agree with you, Kyle. Good luck tonight. You're going to have your work cut out for you. You got to find yourself just in front of those, so you don't even have to win it. You just got to beat those 3. So good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Next up, we got Bobby Mays in the house. Bobby, you sneak yourself into it. Isaiah Gill dropping out of that top 4, giving you that chance at it here. What do you got for him?
Yeah, one man's bad luck is another man's good luck, I guess. I like this racetrack, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, man, sometimes it's just fate is meant to be. There's really only 3 competitors out there that you're racing. What's your mindset as you head into qualifying here in a few minutes, and then as the main event starts? What do you think with the 1 tire set? Is tire wear going to be a factor? What's the strategy?
Yeah, well, seems like tire wear is always a factor, but I'm going to try to run these as far as I can. Probably. I don't think qualifying is going to make a whole lot of difference, but I'd like to qualify in the top 5 if I could.
Well, let's say you find yourself at the back of the pack, Bobby. You know, you're 40 laps in on the first set or 30 laps in on the first set. Do you save that set as long as you can, just in case there's a late race caution and give you the best shot at the win?
I think if you're in the back, I think you would probably. If you're up front, I think you just kind of got to do what everybody else does, really, to stay up front.
Awesome. Well, good luck tonight. And maybe we'll see you at the end.
Hey, man. Appreciate it.
Dylan, it's Joe and Dave in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, man, I got you.
All right, Dylan, you found your way into the final 4. You got your work cut out for you here. racing against these other three drivers. What can you tell us about your strategy in going into this part of the race?
Yeah, man, just gonna try to keep it clean, qualify decent. Uh, Obviously, it seems I can't do that here lately, but yeah, hopefully start in the top 10 and just manage tire wear. So
Dylan, now no wins on the season, but probably the most consistent driver in the Final Four. You have 8 top fives, 11 top 10s, so always up there. Really, you're only racing 3 other drivers tonight with Nudie and then both of the Mays boys there. What's the strategy as we head into the main event here? Is tire wear going to be that important? Qualifying, how does that come into play here? What's your thoughts on that stuff?
yeah, I mean, I think if we get a long run, obviously tire wear is going to be a factor. If we stay green, I wouldn't be surprised to get a green flag pit stop, and then obviously that would throw a bigger wrench in the plans for everybody. But yeah, hopefully just keep it clean, and these 3 are the fastest guys in here, so we're gonna give it to them, see what we got.
Dylan Nudie is the fastest in practice. He's probably going to lay down one of the better qualifying laps. Do you throw yourself off strategy, find your way to the front late in the race maybe?
I don't think so. If I can just stay in touch with him, and obviously Kyle and Bobby as well, I think I'll be all right. But the last thing I want to do is qualify, in the back, and then have to drive all the way up there. I want to at least be in touch with them, when qualifying comes. So.
Perfect. Well, you got about 2 minutes to qualify, and good luck, and we'll see you hopefully at the end, and we'll be crowning you the champ. We'll see.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, Brian, here's your final pre-race only interview you'll ever have here with the iOS ARCA Pro Series, and you got a shot at this championship. These 3 guys are hungry behind you. We talked to them all. They all on maybe some differing strategies, maybe some different mentality going into it, but they're all saying they're going to have to beat you to get there. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, that's nice for them to think that, but, you got to beat every single one of them, to try to win the championship. And, I'm hungry too. I've come up second place in every championship I've ever run in iOS. Never been able to close the deal, so I'm hoping tonight I'm able to close the deal. It sucks Isaiah couldn't be here tonight, but definitely, it made it a little bit easier for the 4 of us.
Speaking of Isaiah Bright, he's got 5 wins on the season. You have 4. It would really be special, I know, for you to not only win tonight's race but get crowned the champion. Kind of give you the trump card on the season over him with, as many wins and crowned champion. But as you just described, most of, if not all, the pressure tonight is on yourself. What's happened in the past with those championships, and then just a couple of different things that have happened this season, and then all 3 of the top 4. So you're the man to beat. So how do you manage that pressure tonight?
I just gotta try to get rid of that Denny Hamlin vibe where he can't close the deal. That seems like that's what's kind of been happening to me basically the past year in all of iOS. Coming up second place pretty much in everything. So I just got to try to block that out and just go for it.
Yeah, he who shall not be named ruined your first ever chance at a championship. I remember that. And, man, that's pretty cool that we're going to end this thing with you guys tonight here in the iOS ARCA Pro Series. But, Brian, good luck tonight. You got your work cut out for you. Just stated. There's some other guys that are hungry out there. We'll see what they can do too, Dave. Man, you never know.
It's going to be a good one.
All right, take care. Good luck. Hopefully talk to you later.
Hopefully. Talk to you later.
D-Right, like I said, a lot of guys on this track fighting for that same real estate as Brian's going to be shooting for. And to be honest with you, there's some other players in this this list of drivers. We got Tyler Aspinall, Logan Hagerman's back tonight, Colin Willems. These guys all have a shot at this thing. Colton Kinsey's going to be in the crowd. There's also some craziness out there, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that Colin is running. I think he's doing race control, but Merle Jr., Provalt's in there, Zach Cox. There's still some regulars that know how to run mile and a half. It's definitely going to be competitive. It is by no means a guarantee that the winner comes from that top four. Our champion will obviously get crowned from that top four. So whoever finishes in the top position out of those four will be the champion for the ARCA Pro Series. But by no means does that mean that that person has to win the race.
For sure. As we look now to the track, Bobby Mays turned in some laps here in qualifying. We'll see what he can do and where he'll end up.
Yeah, and as we talked about, he backdoors in with Isaiah bowing out and not being able to make the race tonight. So, as he said in the pre-race interview, one man's misfortune is another man's fortune. So we shall see here.
We certainly will. And so far, Bobby Mays is going across the line there on his first time lap. He's going to go top of the board with a 30.86. That's only 0.3 slower than Brian Nudi in practice, which Brian could have got some draft help. Oh, he's going to slap the wall in the second lap, though. That's not going to be good. 30.86, still going to be a decent lap, though, I think. Derek Chaput comes through on his first lap, 31.14.
30.8 looks to be competitive. Should most certainly be in the top 10, if not the top 5. We'll see how everything shakes out here.
This is Tyler Aspinall. He was fastest in practice as we were talking to Nudie. Laid down a better lap, but Dave, you never know, man. These guys have what it takes to make it happen. There's just some mistakes here and there that have messed it up for him. So here goes Tyler through turns 3 and 4. He's going to come off the corner, and he's going to come across for his second time lap, sorry. And he crosses the line 30.65. He's going to take the pole away from Bobby Mays.
Yeah, and based on the practice times, that's going to be really competitive for the pole position. So we'll see a lot of those guys around there. We'll see if Nudie can get in below it, and what actually was draft packages from practice. So.
Yep, absolutely. Kyle Mays laying down some laps here in qualifying. He's coming around for his first time lap as he comes up off the corner down the back stretch. He's going to hit turns 3 and 4 and come to the line for the first time. We'll see where he stands. A little high through the middle of turns 3 and 4 there, Dave. More speed there or no?
I think so. It's been a while since I've ran these in the ARCA cars. We were just here in Cup and in trucks. And it depends on the tire wear, obviously, coming through 3 and 4. So as you get later on in the runs, you want to take that a little bit wider and try to diamond it off. But definitely early in qualifying, it's going to be low and middle off.
So first let up a little bit slow for Kyle Mays. Kyle's coming off the corner. He's going to, I don't know if he hit the wall there. We'll see if this lap counts or not. It does not. He did get a piece of the wall. Look at Nudie as he comes for his second lap. Dylan Dunford came home P2 in qualifying right now. He's still on track as well. There's Nudie's second lap. He's going to bump up, but Dylan Dunford's going to take the pole, Dave. 30.58.
Yep. That's an absolute blazing time. That ties Nudie's practice time that he had at the top of the board. So I don't know that Nudie will be able to even get up there as he runs a 30.705 on the first time around.
No, that was his second lap. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. So we're going to check in with Zachary Cox, who's now on track. I just want to note right now, Adley Atman, we sit in P4 in qualifying with a 30.77. He out-qualified 2 of our championship runners, Bobby and Kyle Mays. Tyler Aspinall up in that P2 with a 65 as well. I mean, these guys are blazing fast tonight here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And you bring it up, Atman. He's obviously riding the tailwinds of Langley Speedway podium this weekend. So coming in 3rd place in the Bandoleros, his best finish of the career, and clearly on a trajectory that is rising.
Yeah, check him out. You can check him out on NBC Sports, I believe. And get caught up if you have Track Pass. You can watch that race and the interview with him, as he was able to get a live interview, which is pretty cool. Zachary Cox coming to the line off of turn 4 on his second time lap here. Is it going to be enough? He's going to jump up to P5. Logan Hagerman slides into P3. See what Brian Merle Jr. can do on his second lap. Little loose through the middle. You could hear him lift out of the throttle just a little bit. And to the line. Junior's going to jump up to P13. Still not what he probably was looking for there.
Yeah, a little bit faster in his first run, but does not really improve on position.
Sylvan Seguin's going to come in P15. I think that about does it for our qualifying, Dave.
Yeah, I think we got Nick Ford still left to go. I don't know if he's going to go out and run a qualifying lap, but he has not posted one.
Yep. Dylan Dunford, though. Your pole sitter with a 30, like you said, .58. That was what Nudie ran in practice. Interesting stuff there.
Yeah, really, really fast. Really impressive. And obviously what the doctor ordered coming into the Final Four, we see if he can hold on to it. He's going to set the pace here from the start. So Charlotte, too, Joe, tends to be, we get cautions early usually. And then we see long green flag runs. Often green flag pit stops, and then maybe a late caution that mixes things up. But for the most part, you tend to see this track get longer green flag runs, and the cars tend to spread out on tire wear strategy and different things that they want to run. If anything, we'll see a lot of, as you talked about earlier, slapping the wall coming out of 4. Things
I want
of
to
that
see.
nature.
I want to see how these guys handle the cars on a long green flag run. Those are the guys that are going to rise to the top late in the runs, and those would be the guys you're looking for in that championship slot. Landon
100%.
Duncan in the chat says, "Let's go 94." And Dean Qualley, thanks for the info, Dean. I took care of that. And then if you're in the chat, you got 13 people watching right now. If you're watching, shout out who your driver is. Who's your pick in that top 4? You got Kyle Mays, Bobby Mays, Dylan Dunford, and Brian Nudie all going for one championship here tonight. It'll be a great race. Stay tuned here as we get ready for the green flag action.
Yeah, another thing I'd like to know with the audience, do we think one of these Final 4 guys is going to actually win the race, or do they have the field to win it? We got a strong field out there. Going to be about 18 cars running tonight. So, like we said, it's not set in stone that it comes from the top 4. There's a lot of strong competitors on 1.5 miles, and Charlotte is a niche track for some of these guys.
And Nick Ford is going to hit the track, probably going to be late. I don't think he's going to have enough time. We'll see, though.
We've got about 1.5 minutes left in the time limit on qualifying here. I think he'll be able to get around, Joe. He's putting it to the limit, though.
Nick Ford P11 on lap 1. And he lifted as though he's not going to have time to get this second one done. Either that or he was really loose on entry. He does not improve on his second lap. So that'll be it for Nick Ford. He's going to go P11. $60 laps of action, Dave. Like you said, one set of tire, 65% fuel. I think the fuel runs somewhere around 30 laps for these guys.
Yeah, it's going to be miles and miles of strategy, We talked to some of the Final Four before the race here and before qualifying. You heard them say, I think one of them, it was Bobby or Kyle, mentioned that they're just going to stay with what the other guys do instead of going off kilter as far as strategy. It might even have been Dylan that had mentioned that. So it'll be curious now that the qualifying order is set. Dylan's out front, and how this race progresses as we see some strategy play out.
Absolutely. As we look at the field here, like you said, Dylan Dunford's going to take that pole spot. Tyler Aspinall is going to roll off P2 on the outside of him. Tyler, aggressive, Dave, all season long, been running in the top 10. Had a lot of good success here in the iOS ARCA series. We'll see what he can do. Logan Hagerman coming back from a leave of absence to take that third spot. And Brian Nudi's going to roll off P4.
And in fifth, we talked about him earlier, number 78, Intensity Broadcasting's own Atman Weiss, followed off by Zachary Cox in the 51 machine. Going off seventh is going to be one of the playoff drivers that is in contention for the crown tonight, Bobby Mays, in that number 5 Ranger Boats machine. And then sliding off next to him in the 8th position is Brandon Richardson.
Rolling off ninth is your final driver of the playoffs in the top 10 here, Kyle Mays. He's going to roll off P9. P10 is going to be Brandon White. Outside of him, as we just saw, Nick Ford coming home 11th. And in that Reese's machine, Derek Chaput from Ontario.
In the 13th position, we got Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the 47 car. Outside of him is his good buddy, Brian Merle Jr. in the 74 machine. Colton Kinsey, another friend of those two, going off in the 15th spot right behind him, followed by 66 Sylvan Seguin in that Molson Canadian Impala.
And rounding out your field is going to be Tony Richardson in the 18 machine, roll off 17th. And your final spot here tonight, 18 cars, Michael Provolt. Don't count him out, Dave. He's not a stranger to a good mile and a half track, so... They'll go one time around, and it'll be green flag action here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. And Dave, Atman Weiss, not a bad pick tonight. This is his favorite track. He goes there. He's been there.
Yeah, we'll be following him all night. We'll see what happens. Like we mentioned earlier, he's riding the tailwinds of what happened this weekend. Obviously, a lot of confidence behind the wheel. We'll see how that translates tonight.
He's got 2 playoff drivers behind him, and Bobby Mays and Kyle Mays. In front of him, he's got 2 drivers of Brian Nudi, and on the pole, Dylan Dunford. Tyler Aspinall, Logan Hagerman in the mix. It's going to be a good one. We'll see who can make it happen. And like you said, the winner doesn't necessarily have to be a playoff driver. It could be anybody. As they come down the short chute, the green flag will wave, and they'll be racing. Green, green, green. Flag is out, and they're racing. Dylan Dunford's going to pull ahead by just a little bit. Tyler Aspinall hanging tough on the outside. There will be 2 grooves of racing here early, Dave. But later in the run, you're going to find that people pretty much single file up.
Yeah, not a bad start at all by Tyler. Kind of stayed with him there into the corner, even though Dylan clears. Does not get away from him by too much.
Tyler closing the gap faster on Dylan through middle corner. You see Logan Hagerman kind of falling in behind, kind of just hanging out. Brian Nudi back and forth.
Yeah, and most of the field behind them is spread out to single file racing as well, so it looks like we'll be nearly caution free for the first lap and see if this coexists down here through the early run and we can get a long green flag run.
Big move by the 019 underneath Atlee Weiss. He's going to follow Bobby and Kyle Mays to the middles of turns 3 and 4. Kyle Mays gets by. We see Chaput going by. See Nick Ford about to go underneath Atlee. Atlee just stuck on that outside line getting freight trained. As he turned back to the front, you see Tyler Aspinall starting to really hunt now underneath Dylan Dunford.
Yeah, and we'll see how that battle progresses. We talked to Dylan before the race. We know tire wear will be an issue. We'll see how hard he races Tyler, or if he just gives that up and starts to protect those good ears for later on in the race.
You see that huge banking here at Charlotte Motor Speedway on the gyro cam. And a really good line for Tyler through the middle of the corner. He's looking for a good run off the corner, though. Uh-oh. Dylan Dunford with a little glitch there, Dave. Disappeared for a second.
Yeah, he blinks here and there. Has not affected many of the races this year, though.
Nudie looking like he might be in tire conservation mode as he rides a little bit high through turns 3 and 4 there.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be full pressing right now. 5 is 60. Very, very early in the race still.
Same with 1 and 2. A little diamond off for Nudie, but nothing major. Logan Hagerman now getting in the mix here. Underneath Aspinall.
And Logan, we haven't seen him in the ARCA car too much this year. Ran a lot early, and obviously in Season 1 was a very strong competitor. I think he even was the Season 1 champion, if I remember correctly, Joe. So definitely knows how to wheel these things around.
Really eating those tires up, though, on the inside of Tyler Aspinall. Tyler able to drive away from him down the backstretch there. That's allowed Nudie to really close that gap behind him. Zachary Cox as well. And don't look now, but here comes Bobby Mays up to P6, as well as Kyle Mays right behind him. Still a bit of a gap between those guys. We got some side-by-side racing behind them with Chaput underneath Brandon White. Back to the front. Logan Hagerman still trying to work up underneath Tyler Aspinall. Nudie just kind of hanging out there, biding his time. Looks like he's going to look outside now of Hagerman, actually, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just out on a Monday cruise or what, but definitely lurking there and not letting Dumford out of his sights, clearly.
Aspinall moves up at half a lane. That's going to make Nudie check up just enough for Logan Hagerman to get back underneath him through the short chute and through the quad oval. See a little wash up of Zachary Cox behind them as he gets that little dirty air effect. And in iRacing, there's some dirty air, didn't there, Dave?
Oh, yeah, and it depends on what cars you're running and what track, obviously, has different effects, whether they get a little bit loose or most often get tighter and drive up in the corner. But yeah, it's definitely a factor.
Aspinall high, Nudie low. Hagerman tucks in behind Nudie. Now Aspinall with no help on the outside. But these guys tend to get out there in the straightaway. Here comes Hagerman to the outside down the straightaway, though.
And really just some hard racing here early, Joe. Kind of surprised to see this. But you see those playoff drivers as Bobby is creeping into the picture there too. Definitely wanting to take control of the pace.
Nudie creeping up just a little through 3 and 4 there. Looked a little bit tight underneath Aspinall. Let's see how it goes here through turns 1 and 2. Not as bad through 1 and 2, but not able to get off the corners. These guys are lined up on the outside of him. Let's see what he does here through 3 and 4. He was tight off last time. Saw him push up the track a little bit. He's able to hold it down much better that time. It's going to kill his speed, not being able to get off the corner, as Logan now trying to get that spot back on the outside like Brian did to him. And he does. He clears into 1 and 2. Behind them, Bobby Mays looking under Zachary Cox. Thinks better of it, slides back in. Kyle Mays coming into the picture now as well. He was about a half a second back. He's now within... Oh, and we have our first caution, Dave.
Yes, we do. Not sure what happened.
Nick Ford is in the wall. Let's go to our wreckage rewind, and we'll figure it out.
I think there's a 3 wide incident here, Joe, no?
Yeah, I think so too. All right, here we go. You see Richardson to the inside, Chaput to the outside down the backstretch. 3 wide at Charlotte.
Nobody lifting going in.
Richardson hits the apron, Dave. Comes up into Ford. That's going to collect Chaput and Ford.
Yeah, really unfortunate for those. It rarely turns out well going 3 wide in there. Somebody's got to lift. And yeah, as you said, 29 kind of gets the apron, slides up the track, and gets into the 20 and then into the 37. Race control has given the 29 the EOL. We'll restack them, we'll re-rack them. There's a couple laps here of caution. We'll see if anybody besides those who were in that accident come down pit road.
Brandon Richardson in the 29. So Brandon really getting a good run down that backstretch, but you're going to see right here, he's going to just clip that bottom apron just enough to shoot him up into him. Like you said, that's going to give him the EOL.
Yeah, and even that, you mentioned it, really good run, but kind of in no man's land if you can't really get clear of them there. Going to either have to get on that brake or roll it back a lot to even control it in that corner, and it gets tough to keep it off the apron.
All right, so your pit takers there you see on the screen, Nudie, Hagerman, Mays, and Mays. The top 4 that took pit road opportunity there. That's for fuel. 6.8 seconds.
So we see some break there, Joe, in strategy off of the top runner of Dumford. Dumford not going to give up his position, stays out there, so he'll be on still that original tank.
What that's going to do, Dave, it's going to give those other guys a little bit longer green flag run here if it stays green. They're going to be on older tires for a little longer as well. But they'll have fresher tires at the end, assuming they take 4 tires when they hit pit road next, barring any cautions.
Or they stay with Dumford on that, go into pit, have less gas to fill up, therefore, hopefully can get out a little bit quicker, depending on if, the 4 tires are the same. Sometimes filling up that full
with
that
65% fuel, it doesn't matter as much. If they had full tanks of fuel, I think you'd be spot on, but I don't know about with 65% making a big difference there. We'll see, though. That was a pretty long green flag run.
Yeah, they did well there early, so we'll see how that transgresses. Lap 15, 16 now of 60, so quarter of the way done. First quarter dominated by Dylan Dumford. Led every lap of it.
And is he going to be able to steal the championship from Nudie again? Nudie really, really struggling to get this championship off his shoulders.
A very interesting interview to start that off today and find those troubles, because obviously one of the most talented, if not the most talented driver in the field, wins on all types of tracks, road course, short tracks, speedways. It doesn't really matter. He's a competitor.
See Nick Ford at the back of the picture getting caught up with the field. Not sure why the front top line's not tightening up here, Dave. But they're about to go green flag racing. Is that 18 real slow to get caught up? That's Tony Richardson. There he goes. Now he's tightening it up. Logan Hagerman right behind him. Dylan gets back to the gas early. He's going to pull Colton Kinsey underneath the 45 of Tyler Aspinall.
An absolute rocket ship by Dumford. Great start. And to your point, the 18 is back 15 car lengths right now. I have no idea what was going on there.
Oh.
As he causes a caution, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, he sure did. Let's see what happened there. He's got your nickname. Did you know that? All right, let's roll that back just a little bit more. Let's see what happened on that restart. Not quite sure.
Yeah, can we go in car with him? I don't know if he missed a shift here. What happened?
Sound like he started in third gear.
Yeah, or fourth.
Oh no, he was definitely second gear. Just didn't. He never reamed it out. And he just was not up to speed for where he was on track there.
Maybe Joe worried about gilling it there and on some tire wear with the restart. I'm not sure. Even from the start, not even up on the car in front of him. So
Yeah,
could be just very, very cautious on the
restart. You can listen here to Logan Hagerman. The sound of the car is just different. Watch the guys below them just go. Logan to third.
Oh, he's way out of the throttle there too. Wow.
And that's why Logan gets in the back of him there. It's a tough spot to be in if you're Logan Hagerman.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on.
Got Myrtle on pit road. Did he get some damage in that too, Dave?
I don't believe so, but he is down there for an awfully long time.
Yeah, he definitely has some right side damage there as they roll by. Ooh, Brandon White gets in the back of him a little bit. Looks like that's about it.
Yeah.
And he's rolling. All right, let's check the chat real quick, see if anybody shouted anybody out. KT Edens says, "Come on, Brian." All right, one more time around, they'll go. Maybe two more. Lights are still on that pace car. It'll be a while.
Yep.
Colton
You know who
Kin-
doesn't mind that? It's Dylan Dumford.
Yeah, for sure. Colton Kinsey now to the outside, though, Dave. Can he stick with Dylan Dunford here on this restart? He's got to be savvy. He's got to be ready. Dylan looked like he's ready to go right away, so... I just want to see that 94 machine with the throwback Bill Elliott paint scheme.
I've been watching too much of that new Chase show.
I haven't watched it at all. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Fanboying it.
Hey, I don't know. Did you see who won at Daytona?
I missed it, dude. Well, Ricky Stenhouse?
Somebody got
Ryan Priest? Who
somebody
was it?
did get disqualified though.
Who?
Brennan Gaughan or somebody, second place. Chris Buescher disqualified for too low a track bar. That moves Bubba Wallace into his best finishing position of the season. He's gonna finish P2.
For the season or ever?
Probably ever. No, he's finished second a couple times at Super Speedways, but it's his best this season. And Kurt Busch is going to join 2311 next year. That's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, through turns 3 and 4, Dylan Dunford will have the green flag on his gas pedal. So as soon as that pace car pulls off, Dylan will set the field. And from the looks of it, I think he'll be a go, go, go as soon as that thing dumps off. Hopefully get Colton Kinsey sleeping here. And as I say it, it happens. Colton Kinsey, pretty savvy, though. He's going to stick himself right up into that second spot. Colton had a win this season, too, Dave.
Oh, yeah. He'll definitely be in the All-Star race. Dylan, we seen he didn't hit it immediately like he did last time coming off the corner. Gave it a little bit of a hesitation to try to throw Colton off. Colton was still able to clear down low, but end up getting passed by Nudie, and looks like Aspinall will have him cleared as well as we get through here.
And a little deep into that corner there. And that's going to cost him 3-1 and 2. And like you said, Nudie and Aspinall. Nudie now on a rail. As
and
he
another
hunts.
caution.
Another caution. Eric Chaput off track, it says. Let's see what happened. All right, I got it for you. I see a little checkup here from the 66. Chaput's going to get underneath of him. They might be about 3 wide when it happens. Junior goes through the middle of it. He's fine. Chaput a little dent on the front wall there getting into the infield. What do you think about that one, Dave? Looks like Atlee chops Sylvan's nose just a little bit. Causes a little checkup and then a chain reaction behind him. You see it right there.
Yeah, I think it's a case of cautions breeding cautions. Unfortunate. Hopefully we can get through the lap after the restarts here and start to spread them out a bit. Would be beneficial. We'll see what happens with the pit strategy here too. Again, Joe, as we third caution now.
We do have some takers on pit road. Let's look at those stint lengths real quick. Some very varying strategies. Nudie, the most recent on pit road toward the front. You look a little bit further back, some of these guys, Ford and Hagerman, hitting pit road about 5 laps ago. And I did see that Myrtle Jr. was just on pit road again. He's still on pit road. Must have some serious damage from that little contact early, Dave.
Either that or he's finishing dinner.
He's rolling now off of pit road.
He's another one who's had hell of a week. Brought home a super speedway win last week in the trucks, and then brought home a win of his own.
Yep, at the
in real life.
McKinleyville track. Yeah, it was good stuff. I saw that. And condolences to him and his family. They had a friend of theirs that passed away as well today. So condolences to their families and friends. But yeah, Junior not looking too hot today. But he's locked in for this week, right, Dave?
He is. He is.
That Super Speedway win got him into the Final Four in the Cup Series. Or is it the trucks?
It's in the trucks. He is in the 2 slot, I believe, in the trucks right now, going into the final. So.
And where are they at?
And they will be at Phoenix, I believe. Both the Cup and the trucks are at Phoenix this week for the finales. So a semi-short track, a little bit over a mile. Maybe it's a mile. About 110 laps, I think, in the trucks, and maybe 130, 150, something like that in the Cup. So
those tend to lend themselves to Isaiah Gill and Stephen Black. Those are your guys that to look for on the short tracks for sure. But we'll see what they can do. Phoenix is a tough place to get around sometimes, depending on who you are.
Yeah, definitely take some throttle control. You got to use both pedals. Tire wear, as we talked about, will be a strategy there as well. So it'll be interesting. There's a reason. I believe the Cup Series has that as the regular finale in real life too. So
Eddie Morris says best broadcasters into business. Eddie, you can jump up in the booth with us if you're ready. We can always use a third. You too, Josh Hall, if you're watching. Come on in. It's more fun with more of us. As we watch Dylan Dunford work down the backstretch, Brian Nudie is there, Dave.
that he is.
He said in the pre-race interview he's let too many of these things slip away. He felt like Denny Hamlin. Well, Denny, what you got for Dylan?
And both those guys on different strategy. We talked about it a little bit here already. Both have the same tire wear right now, but Nudie has pitted about 10, 15 laps ago for gas. So it's a little bit of a breakup here from what Dylan is running. Dylan going to have to come in for gas shortly. And by shortly, I mean within probably the next 10 laps here of green flag racing. So we'll see how this goes here as the green flag drops.
They're racing. Nudie's going to be able to clear himself into second place. As they race down into turn one, Colton Kinsey will be side by side with Tyler Aspinall behind. And we got a lot of side by side through the field. Colton Kinsey and Tyler Aspinall really going at it. A real close racing between those two.
Again, those front four kind of shot out from the rest of the field on the restart.
Colton washes up in front of Tyler. That's going to shake things up for Colton. 3 wide behind him. Brandon White to the inside. Where's Cheeseburger going to go? Through the grass as we watch Colton Kinsey and people scattering all around him. Great job by those guys to miss that and keep those cars straight. Brian Nudie chasing down Dylan Dunford now. What's he got for him? I think it's a good time for a pump it up, D, right? What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Dave, as we watch these guys battle it out, you can see Nudie starting to close that distance now to Dylan Dunford, really putting that pressure on him to keep those laps straight.
Yeah, it's developed into somewhat of a two-man race, although Bobby is in third. He's a little bit over a second and a half back from those two guys. So we'll see how the strategies develop here as we're approaching the 35th lap. So well over halfway. Dunford's going to have to come in and pit here very shortly.
So something interesting to talk about. Atlee, man, he's hitting pit road last lap by. He's going to be the first guy with new tires. Let's see how that works out for him here as we count down through the laps and watch these guys hit pit road.
As we say that, Eddie Moe has joined the booth. Eddie, how we doing, bud?
Good, man. How's it going, guys?
Welcome to the Final Four at iOS ARCA Pro Series. And Dylan Dunford leading every lap so far, Eddie. But, man, Brian Nudie smells that victory. He's got to get that Denny Hamlin monkey off his back.
Man, all I'm going to tell you, man, is Nudie, he better hope he's winning this one because tomorrow night, if I have anything to say with it, I'm walking home with the cup.
There he goes. You heard it here first.
That's right.
Shots are fired across the bow.
We're bringing the big guns tomorrow, so it was a little one right now. So.
Right. Pew, pew. As we watch Brian Nudie looking a little bit underneath Dylan, I don't think Nudie's in too much of a hurry to get by him. I think he's going to try to beat him on and off pit road. He's going to go when he goes and get off when he goes.
Repeat that, Joe?
You know what I said.
Run that back again. Yeah, my main concern right now is, them running their stuff ragged and then that Mays boy coming up and taking the lead from him. Maybe that's his strategy right now.
Talking about this Mays boy?
That Mays boy.
Little Bobby Mays?
Oh, Bobby.
Bobby Mays showing the way as he's hunting those guys down, actually. He's closed the gap just a little bit. I've been watching the gap from him to them. It's 2.2 right now, but he is slowly breaking into that 2-second mark. We'll see if over the next couple of laps if he can do that or not.
We got another caution out here too, fellas. So
Sylvan Seguin and Colton Kinsey around.
Hate to see it.
this will definitely change some things. We're going to see pit stops here as fuel strategy is gonna, by nature, send some of these guys in. But will be interesting to see what happens. Kind of throws off the early pit stop from Nudie to break up that strategy. So these guys may be back on the same strategy, and it's a race to the final.
So it looks like Colton has a little help here from Sylvan. And I'm going to actually roll this back a little bit further. I want to see if something else happened that we don't know about.
This also might help Atman with his
His strategy, yep.
yeah, get that track position.
Sylvan fast through the corner. The only problem with that, Eddie, is he's going to be locked a lap down until they let him by, I think.
Right.
See Colton down a little bit on the apron. He's going to lift hard. That's going to put Sylvan in his rear end. With Sylvan with nowhere to go off the wall, comes back across, collects both of them. Both guys able to keep it off the wall, but that's going to bring out the caution.
He's just doing a little landscaping.
Missed the spot.
That's right.
And we look at everybody on pit road now. Is Brian Nudie going to take 4 tires? Right sides are up on him. Kyle Mays stays out, Dave. Right sides go up on these. All 4 of these guys are going to get 4 new ones.
Do we know where Kyle's at with tires, Joe? Because I know he was off and in the back of the field and had pitted early. I don't know if he took tires earlier or not.
We can assume here. Let me look at pit stop times. It looks like he may have taken them a lap
the
or
middle
2
one?
ago. Yeah, that 15 there. That's in the middle.
And if he's got enough gas to get through, that could be an interesting strategy for him. If he does not have to pit again for fuel, which I don't think he will, Joe. He may be.
Have you ever ridden around Kyle Mays, Dave?
Have I what?
Have you ever ridden around him in a race?
Of course.
So you and I both know he's not the easiest guy on the track to pass. Now, he don't race you dirty, but he's tough to pass. He makes it a little bit tough on you. A lot like Ryan Newman-ish. What do you think, Eddie?
Newman and iOS.
Do you think that? Do you think?
I think there's a couple drivers that could pass for the Ryan Newman of the iOS.
I like to think
Just like-
I like to think I'm about there too.
Right.
I make it tough on purpose.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna make it tough tomorrow. So it's my goal.
I just don't pass anybody, so.
Here's the downfall of Kyle Mays' strategy. Zach and Kyle stay out, but the fresh tires are right behind them. Everybody else behind them, hitting pit road, getting brand new tires.
Sometimes you got to take a chance.
You do. And you never know what could happen. Dylan Dunford's going to race Brian Nudie really hard right here. He has to. But 4 of our top 5 are championship eligible drivers. So
Yeah, very interesting layout we have here. Coming to lap 42.
And I told you, something Nudie does getting in and off pit road gets him that spot there over Dylan Dunford. Wonder if we can actually go back and take a look at that.
Atlee Atman Weiss was our lucky dog on that last caution.
Here we are. This is pit road.
I know it was a pretty good race off pit road for like 5th or 6th. Whoever was coming off pit road around there, it was like 3 cars.
Oh, and he barely gets him. Roll it back there. That's Nudie, and Dylan's just getting off a little bit late. Couple feet. That was the difference. Let's check in with our audience, see what they got to say. Nobody talking. Sweet.
I was gonna say, man, you told me to come up to the booth. So
thought maybe they would talk about you.
Ah, they ain't gonna talk about me.
14 people watching. Come on. What you got? It's going to be wild. Four of the top 5 your playoff drivers, your possible championship winners. Kyle Mays, Zachary Cox are going to lead it off. Zach gets a good jump. Brian Nudi's going to be able to power on through on them new tires, Dave. Underneath Kyle, that's going to give him a position. Dunford is going to follow. Bobby Mays, I'd assume, is going to follow as well. Zachary Cox way high in the middle of the corner.
Yeah, really a freight train down low there with Nudie and Dunford piling on by, and we'll see if Bobby can clear down through here too.
Oh, one in the wall. That's Tyler Aspinall. Oh, wow, he just got thrown up in the air. Oh,
Still
wow.
no caution.
No caution on the track? Wow. We stay green. 17 laps to go. If we get a chance, we'll go look at that bad boy. That was pretty wild. Bobby Mays looking underneath Zachary Cox, about to clear him. And then he'll have a shot at these top 2, I'm sorry. And hopefully he doesn't let him get away by 2 seconds this time. Don't count out Logan Hagerman, also on new tires there, Dave, in P4.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll have enough to get back to the 2 up front. They got a pretty nice spread out there right now. About a second, a little bit over a second. So we'll see what happens here.
So Aspinall was in the wall, and it came off the wall, and he got pile drove, I believe, by Merle Jr. And when I say pile drove, it looked like he flew up into the audience. Pile drove.
Yeah, there were a few cars involved in that got their race room.
Yeah.
The comms are pretty hot right now.
That's for sure. But I do have to say, I went back and watched it. The 5 kind of came up in the middle of the corner and got into Aspinall, and Aspinall into the wall. So
Gotcha.
The 5 races on, Eddie. Into 3rd.
Yep. Sometimes it be like that, brother.
He has his work cut out for him, though. He's got a ways to go now as he chases down Dylan Dunford and Brian Nudi. Almost a second separates those guys from him. 0.95 to be exact right now. And it looks like Dunford using a little bit of a high entry diamond off thing. Let's look at that. Nick Ford has crashed. Still green. Yellow is now out.
Well, that'll get the 5 and the 55 back into the race for sure.
Oh man,
And
I
obviously,
like that wreckage rewind.
Yeah. Who is?
How many of
that?
these boys are going to want to? It looks like Danica. How many of these boys are going to
I
want to get out?
wasn't sure
It's
if it,
definitely Danica Patrick.
I wasn't sure if it was her or Blaney. They looked similar.
Yeah.
Similar figures.
Except for Blaney's won more than one race this season. All right, here we go. Nick Ford, 3 wide. That's what's going to do it.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm just going to keep my comments to myself on that. Caution.
And he hits the pit wall. And he slides down the front stretch.
Yeah,
See what
no
happens
caution
next.
yet, though.
Yep, no caution yet. What happens next is what causes the caution.
Yep, this part is what is questionable. I wonder if Colin's in his room. It's like, oh, no caution? Okay. Now there is.
Yep, that's a permaban.
Yep. Should be, anyway.
And right in front of the leaders at that.
Things that make you go,
And yeah.
Anyway, moving on, boys. Let's talk about
That's
what's
right.
going on at the front, because there's 3 drivers in the top 4 that are worthy of the championship, and Bobby Mays maybe didn't run it as hard as the other 2 did. Who's going to have better tires here in this last couple of laps? And was Nudie giving it everything it had?
Kyle is still lurking there too. He's in 7th. He's not far off. So we'll see if he can creep into the conversation as well.
I don't know that Bobby Mays has the speed, D-Right. I know Dylan and Nudie have identical laps, and they're the best. Same lap. So 30.61s they ran. But we're down to the nitty-gritty. That's for sure. $11 laps to go to decide the last iOS ARCA, the first and the last iOS ARCA Pro Series championship.
Had to put the pro in there.
One season. One season. But I'll tell you what, I honestly believe, and maybe it's just because I'm biased because I watch this one every week, I think this has been the best series throughout the year to watch.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch the other ones because I was in them. But
That's a good excuse not to watch them.
but
Live anyway. Definitely go back and watch them though.
But the racing has been pretty good here in iOS ARCA Pro. And like Dave said before the broadcast, I'd like to see another ARCA series. It doesn't have to be the Pro. Do you know if they're doing one on Sundays or anything?
I'm not 100% sure. I know Dean was doing some ARCA on Sundays. I'm not 100% sure if he'll continue doing that or not.
Well, Dean, if you're watching, we like the ARCA cars. And Dean says it's a repeat from last season in the ARCA series, like Hagerman and Jackson last season. It's Nudie and Dunford this season, and he's right. 2 cars, 1 championship. But Bobby Mays still has something to say about that. Let's see what happens. 9 to go. Will be 8 to go when we hit the line for the green flag.
About to get serious, boys.
Hopefully.
Yeah, the action should definitely pick up here, especially at the front.
And I don't think Logan's going away quiet either. Like Dean Qualley just said, Logan won the championship, or maybe Jackson did. But they raced each other for the championship last season, and Logan wants this. He wants to win this race. Just because you're a driver out there doesn't mean you got to let these guys win because they're in the championship race. But
For sure. Yeah, and Jackson won the ARCA last year, and then I think Logan won the Truck Series championship last year.
there you go. Let's let those guys figure it out behind you, right, Logan? Let's see what Logan can do here. And I talked about Michael Provault in the early stage of the race. David said he's starting at the back, but watch out for him late in the race. And here he is, P5. He's no slouch.
He might come up there and play spoiler.
No doubt. Dylan Dunford and Brian Nudie, the class of the field so far, though. Those guys on a rail. And Nudie's going to go as soon as the pace car pulls off. Dunford's going to swing low. Back high. Let's see what Logan does. Logan's going to get in behind Bobby Mays. Man, Nudie just takes off. Bobby Mays just not having the speed through the corner that he needs, Dave, to win this thing. Logan looks underneath of him behind them. But Dylan Dunford hunting down that number 1 spot. As you see him come off the corner with some speed that time.
Yeah, those two just set and sail, Joe. I don't know if Bobby's got enough speed. If he's holding 7 to go, we got to hit the gas here and see what we have left. But it looks like it might be a 2-man race here to the stripe.
Dunford
was
really
cleared up
pushing the issue off the corner.
He drove it
Kyle's-
out of that corner.
Sorry, guys. Kyle's cleared up into 6th, too, so he's starting to charge as well. If anything happens up there, he'll be in the conversation.
We look back now from Nudi's machine. See that high entry? He's going to force Dylan to pass him underneath. That guy's going off track again at the back. Dunford looking underneath again.
Yeah, and a sneaky place to pass here, Joe, is coming low out of 4 as he's going for it now. Is a spot you can sometimes find it if you roll back that corner as the back car kind of going wide. You can come out low in 4 and get below that car you're trying to pass and have the run on them going into the trioval.
And look there, like Dunford doing a little bit of lifting to not get into Nudie as he, like you said, had a little bit of a run coming off of 4. Let's see if he backs the corner up here one more time. Nudie chooses that high line and really see Dunford make that run. And he's actually
There.
He's there. Is he going to be able to stick it through 1 and 2? That's the tough part, right? Can you make it happen? Nudie and Dunford putting on a show for the championship at the front here. That's also going to allow Bobby Mays to creep into this picture, though. Dunford's going to need to back up his corner here to get a good run off.
Boys are absolutely driving the wheels off these things.
Yeah, we don't have the whoop straps on them, Eddie, but I think the heart rates would be through the roof right now on those two.
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely.
Dunford led that lap. If he can just do that every lap, he can win himself this championship. Side by side, a little pushy through 1 and 2. Gonna cost him some speed off the corner. Let's see if he side draft Nudie, see if he can pull him back to him as they enter 3 and 4.
I think you tried it a little late there, Joe.
Yeah.
He's still there, though, man. He's not going away.
Nope, he's
As they
still
take
underneath.
the white flag.
This is the spot where he did it last time. Let's see if he can do it one more time. If he can beat him to the line, he's going to be all him. Right now through 1 and 2, he had him. He's going to have to
Bobby.
He's going to have to throw it into 3 and 4, back that corner up just a little bit. Bobby's hoping for some contact here.
Exactly.
Slide job, slide job. Crossover, no crossover. Last corner, last turn. Dylan Dunford is going to win the iOS ARCA Pro Series Championship in the last corner.
My goodness.
My heart breaks for the 40, but what a race.
If I had a whoop thing on my
He hit that Isaiah Gill grip hack coming through 4, I'll tell you what.
It was either a Gill or a black grip hack. I don't know who's got the best.
And here's your champion.
What a finish, guys.
Dylan
What a
Dunford,
finish.
your iOS ARCA Pro Series champion. And he's burning it down like he's supposed to.
And as the last race in iOS, Joe, I think we're going to see a complete field burnout here after Dunford picks up the checkered.
What an amazing, amazing season here with ARCA Pro and Intensity Broadcasting. Thank you, Eddie and Dave, for joining me tonight. But I'll tell you what, that was a whale of a race.
I second that, man. That was absolutely awesome to come up in here and call it a little bit with you guys. And appreciate the invite.
Absolutely awesome finish. All 4 of those guys really had great seasons. Capped it tonight. Dylan Dunford, we talked about it in the pre-race a little bit, and we'll get him in here shortly, but really been consistent all year. Eddie, his first win of the season.
First win of the
Well, he
season
picked the right time to do it.
Yeah.
on a hell of a pass, and man,
That's what I'm hoping for tomorrow night. My first win of the season.
Bobby Mays still able to hang on to third there too as well. So we'll have Bobby in the booth. We'll have Brian Nudie. We'll even pull Kyle, see what happened with him. And finally, we'll talk to our champion there. All right, let's talk to our runner-up first, Brian Nudie. Brian, you got Dave, Joe, and Eddie in the booth. Man, what a heartbreaker once again. Last corner letdown. Brian, I know you got to be feeling this one some type of way.
Yeah, I got that Denny Hamlin gene, that juju. I guess I wasn't able to shake it off before the start of this one.
Bro, you should have just not mentioned it, man. You know,
I guess
in
not.
in the hardest form, it comes back and get you.
Man.
But really, to be honest with you, Bri, I think what kind of set some things in favor, or not in favor, but set some things up for the final, at least for Dumford, the strategy that you guys went with to kind of offset him at the beginning really just was mooted out by all the cautions, and you guys kind of pitted at the same time and took tires, and it was just a race from there. But that really set up just a really, really great finishing race. Walk us through the end. What happened, man?
Well, I mean, Dylan was fast all night. I knew the only way I was going to be able to beat him is on a restart or on pit road, and I was able to beat him off pit road. And so I got that kind of taken care of, and then just those cautions, just kept getting those cautions, and that's what killed me. I think I might have been able to hold him off on that first restart afterwards. I got a pretty decent lead, but or it was about half a second, but I think I could have maintained that. But it is what it is. That sucks, but congratulations, Dylan. That's actually his first win in the league. So you know, got to win, and he's a champion.
Was that a slide job, Bri, or did you lift a little bit for him?
It was a slide job. Unfortunately, I lifted to try to do a crossover, but like I was talking to him before he came in, or before I got thrown in here, and he said he knew that I was gonna do that, so he kind of didn't throw it all the way up to the wall, so he kind of made it stick a little bit. So it was a good move. It was perfect.
Awesome. Well, a little
So,
bit
Nudie,
short. Oh, go ahead, Eddie.
What do you think your chances are for tomorrow night, brother?
Well, if
How you
things
feeling?
keep going as they are, I think somebody else is going to win the championship, and I will finish second. So we'll see.
Gotcha. Not much confidence there, buddy.
No, I don't. I just I'm always finished second in these things. So
Brian,
come up just a little bit short.
hopefully you got a couple Lagunitas in the fridge to wash it down with.
Oh yeah, I'm going that right now. Some Lagunitas and some Bullet Bourbon whiskey. Take
There
my
you go.
sorrows away.
Well, congratulations anyway, coming in second. Had a great run. It was a great show. You put on a great show. Go back and watch it. And I know you got some people you like to thank, especially being that this is the last iOS ARCA Pro Series. We'll see.
Yeah, this is the last ARCA Pro Series race, so you know, got to thank all the admins, even all the admins that created this thing right from the get-go. You know, kind of where it all started out. This is the final week of it, of just iOS, just in general. So, and also got to give a shout out to my beautiful wife for letting me do this, Isaiah Gill, and everybody over at Gill's Dump Truck Service and Pizzeria. Even though Isaiah wasn't here tonight. You know, he had to work late. He's out on delivery, so he had to miss tonight. So, and then also got to give a shout out to you guys up in the booth. You guys do an awesome job. Intensity Broadcasting. You guys been killing it for iOS ever since you know, since day one basically. So gonna carry on with the new league, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Now, do you got anything you want to throw out there about that new league real quick while we got you?
Oh yeah, so the new league will be running Wednesday nights. It'll be the Xfinity Series. We got a lot of cars. You're gonna have to qualify to way into the race just because how many cars we got. And then also We're going to be running a non-broadcasted street stock league on Tuesday nights. Will kind of be our feeder league, if you will. It won't be broadcasted unless it turns out to be pretty big. Then we'll look for a broadcaster and we'll go from there.
Awesome, and that'll be SCSRA. Check them out Wednesday nights here on Intensity Broadcasting. Brian, thanks again, brother. Great race. Awesome job.
Yep. Thank you.
Bobby, you got Dave, Joe, and Eddie in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, you were there most of the night riding there in that catbird seat. If they hit each other and messed that thing up, that was yours. You didn't have as much speed as maybe Brian and Dylan had, but you definitely were there.
Yeah, when they got together, I think they slowed down a little bit because I caught them a little bit there, but I was just like an old dog waiting on some scraps there.
Yeah, Bobby, good run tonight. Obviously, as you just said, kept yourself in position to be the champion if any mistakes happened on that last lap. Those guys really a dogfight for the finish in an awesome move. To walk us through what it looked like from your position. Would you think going down the backstretch was gonna have it?
You know, they kept it clean for one thing, and Dylan just made just a hell of a move right there at the end to slide by him. He just barely cleared him, and then I don't know that Nudie might have been thinking he didn't have enough room to do a crossover. I was about 2-3 tenths behind him, but it was just a heck of a move that Dylan made. It was really good racing those last 2 laps. Oh.
Yep. All right. Bobby, good job again tonight. Coming home P3. It's going to put you third in the championship. Third in the championship. So congratulations on that. And we'll see you again tomorrow night, right? As you run in the Cup Series. All right. We'll see you again tomorrow night.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks, Brian Nudie, for putting me in the thing. I know Isaiah had some kind of trouble, couldn't make it. I appreciate y'all putting me in there. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you had anybody you wanted to thank, brother.
Yeah, Joe had a little bit of a stroke there. Don't mind him, Bob. The mic is yours. Anybody you want to thank, take your time. I know it's been a long season.
The whole league was great. I met a lot of people in this league that I've really enjoyed, and you know, I know we're going to run in that Xfinity thing next year or next season. So looking forward to that. But I appreciate all y'all putting this on. It's been real enjoyable. Y'all have a good couple, 2 or 3 weeks off here.
Well, appreciate your time, Bobby. Awesome job tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow night.
All right, man. See ya.
And I didn't have a stroke. Eddie didn't talk when it was his darn turn.
Man, I'm just here. Yeah, I'm still, man. That last lap, bro, that was definitely something. And yeah.
Speaking of that last lap, let's talk to Dylan Dunford. Dylan, you came away with your first win in the iOS ARCA Pro Series on the last race, on the last turn. How does it feel, my man, to be an iOS ARCA Pro Series champion?
Man, it feels good. I guess this is a good time as ever to win a race.
Yeah, it
yeah,
sure
man.
is.
I'd say so. You've been really, really consistent all year. We talked to you at the beginning of the race. Talk me through, I don't know if you were in Discord or not, or who was on your race comms, if the wife is home at the house. How wild was it as we crossed the line over the mic?
Well, I was in a Discord with a couple of buddies in here, the Richardson, the father and son, and then my wife was actually asleep in the bed, and she woke up when I started yelling. So
I was about to say, I bet she ain't sleeping no more.
No, she's awake now. So
Awesome job, man. Like I said, last race, last turn, and you do a slide job on Brian. Brian says you held a different little bit of a line, not letting him do the crossover move. Can you walk us through that part of it?
yeah, you know, the whole race from lap 1, I was backing my turns way up. You know, just trying to save tires, and you know, that last few laps there, I think that he thought I was going to back it up like I've been doing the whole time when I was on the inside of him. And I just drove in there deep, do that slide job on him, and I knew he was going to try and cross me over. I was just hoping he wouldn't get to my back bumper, but man, it all worked out, and that was wild. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, you had all three of us up here just going nuts. We wish we had the whoop strap on you guys to see what the heart rates were at, but it was really, really exciting, man. Who will you got to thank for the season, everything? The mic's yours here, champ. What do you got?
Yeah, man, I just want to obviously thank my wife for letting me do this. Thank all my friends watching in the link. Got my sister, brother-in-law, cousin, a bunch of buddies in there watching. So appreciate all the support, and I'm gonna enjoy a nice bush light before I go to bed.
There you go. Shake
Well
it up.
deserved.
Shake it up and spray the wife with it. Let her know who won the championship. Hey, and by the way, Max McClure owes you an iOS ARCA Pro Series trophy, so make sure you get with him.
He might not want to shake that beer up and get her wet, son. He's probably already in the doghouse as it is for waking her up. So don't give him too many ideas now.
All right, buddy. Awesome job. Congratulations on the championship, and talk to you later.
All right, man. Thank y'all for the broadcast.
Yep.
Congrats, man.
I appreciate it.
Well, D, right? Eddie? I don't think you can ask for much more. I mean, that's as good as last year's ARCA Series race when Jackson does the same exact move to Logan Hagerman on the last lap, on the last corner to win the race. I mean, that's pretty wild stuff.
Yeah, we talked about it at the beginning. Me, thought we'd see some long green flag runs and not very many cautions. Turned out to be a little bit mixed with cautions there in the middle to break the race up a lot and kind of break up a lot of the strategies. We talked about that a little bit with Nudie, but really set up for an awesome finish and seeing those two guys who were the fastest all day battle it out. Awesome move by Dylan to take it in turn 4 and really just heartbreak for Brian, unfortunately. But really a consistent season for both of them all year long.
Yeah, it's definitely a heartbreaker for Nudie, man. I kind of feel for him, but on the other hand, you like to see first time winner in the league, and props out to him for putting together a really good race from what I've seen. And man, yeah, like you said, Joe, you couldn't ask for a better finish, and hopefully tomorrow I'm in second place with 2 to go, and hopefully I can do a slide job on somebody.
There you go. There you go. I sit down in this chair on Monday nights and call this race with my brother most of the time, and we just hope for something like that to happen. It happened tonight. Dylan Dunford, your champion, iOS ARCA Pro Series. For Intensity Broadcasting, I'm Joe Wright. I've been joined tonight by Dave Wright, my brother, and our good friend Eddie Morris. And watch Eddie go for that championship throne as he keeps talking about. He's pretty confident. Brian Nudie not sounding so confident. So, man, you might have an upper hand on him.
I'm definitely going for it, man. I know it's going to be pretty tough tomorrow, man. It's Nudie, Colin Willems, Chris Wheeler, and myself. That's your top 4 in the Cup Series. So, yeah, definitely tune in, watch us, and get this broadcast jumping, man. It's the end. Hopefully, another great finish like tonight was.
Yep.
Pretty
stacked top 4 there. We'll see who can come home with that championship tomorrow night. Josh Hall will have the call. And for Intensity Broadcasting, I'm Joe Wright. And over as Allie Atman, we should say brain fart. I had another stroke, Dave.
That's true.
As Allie Atman, we would say.
I'm going to call Jenna and check on you after this. Actually.
As